So, and the reason we're doing this is we're chatting to Thandiswa about a letter to Azania, which is a music special by musician and cultural figure Thandiswa Mazwai, King Ta, actually. It tracks a letter the singer is writing to Azania as a place of freedom that she says takes the audience on a sonic exploration of the utopian idea of Azania while expressing the melancholy that comes with a dream deferred. So, centering on love, the show opens with the words of revolutionary Ché Guevara. The revolution is driven by great feelings of love. Thandiswa adds to this a love for the people, a love for country, and a love for justice. Thandiswa uses her music to create new worlds and calls us all to awaken our imagination and remember the teachings of old as we forge a new world. All right, in Cape Town, Thandiswa is bringing her previously sold-out show, A Letter to Azania, to the Artscape Theatre. It's happening on the 25th of February, and she's here to speak to us in studio. So nice to see you.
Hello,
welcome.
Leanne. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good.
Last time I saw you was in Durban. We were doing some show on stage, and
yeah.
I mean, I sat on the sidelines and I just listened to that voice of yours belting out your classics to an orchestra.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible how you, as a musician, have grown and you keep on growing so much. How do you do it? What is your sort of secret?
You know, I think a lot of the time, you know, urban poet Saul Williams says you have to put down the pen and the pencil so that you can be the poem. And so, you know, as an artist, you have to live, you have to experience life so that you can ultimately become the poem that you're writing. So I just kind of grow with, you know, time, and I love to experiment. So over the years, I've played everything from kwaito to jazz. And, you know, as you say, I played with an orchestra as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just like to, you know, try out different things all the time. And I don't really take myself too seriously. And I think that allows me to change and do as I will.
But people take you so seriously. They take you and your lyrics, which, I mean, people just call you a genius in terms of songwriting and the messages and words that you bring across. And I mean, to evolve from where you started in Bango Muffin to who and what you are now, standing on a stage talking to a dream deferred. And that is a huge evolution. It really is.
I mean, I don't know. I used to, you know, I remember there was a song in one of the early Bango Muffin albums where I asked the question, and the song was called Azania, in fact. So I've always been fascinated, or at least kind of attached to this idea of Azania, because growing up in apartheid South Africa, Azania was this kind of utopian country that we visualized would come with our freedom. And it was a country that would have no violence, that would be a country of justice, a country centered around the ideas of Ubuntu and love. And as we sit here now, 30 years after our freedom, we're faced with, I think, a kind of dystopia. And so I'm grappling with those thoughts, you know, trying to deal with what happens with what felt like a really ephemeral moment of hope in South Africa, and how we've descended into a hopelessness, really, and a kind of rage within our society.
And what you say, I love that photograph, as you said the word rage. Check the photo we've got on air of you. Love it, love it. That is a poster of the moment, because I think a lot of South Africans are feeling this. They really are. Inside, there is this sense of rage. And I mean, yesterday we have the president speaking and addressing, and I bring up politics because you are way too familiar with politics. You grew up with politics around you and with your parents. It was something you know, but you hear the president saying that we cannot speak to hopelessness, and opposition parties look at the situation and they cashing in on votes saying it's hopeless. But, you know, when South Africans are feeling the way we are, and that's the word that springs to mind, that is worrying. That is very worrying.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't escape that. You know, the other day I tweeted something like, hope has now turned into, you know, dust in our mouths, you know, and you know, this spirit that the president speaks of now carries a backpack filled with rage. You know, she's running with it. And, you know, we all hope for a great South Africa, but really, we can't live on hope. We can't live on hope. We have to live on great leadership. We have to live on people that have a vision for this country that will radically change the lives of the people in this country. And I know that a lot has happened. There's a lot of change in our country. For instance, we no longer live with the fear of an active, violent state. But we do live with a state that seems to be ignoring and has left us restless in this freedom, you know. As much as we were called the restless natives during apartheid, we are the restless citizens now.
Indeed.
There's no rest in this freedom.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that's always been amazing is to use your tool and your talents as a voice to exactly where we're sitting. And I think that this is, I mean, this couldn't come at a better time, Letters to Azania. I know it's been put on
I've been doing
before.
For a couple of years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, to bring it now into Cape Town and to be on stage at a moment like this, it's a big moment, I imagine.
Yeah, and I think especially after the State of the Nation address, you just kind of feel like, well, you know, the president has his words, we have ours, you know. And I'd be interested, in fact, if people started actually writing and sending me these letters to Azania, if they have a letter that they think they could write that personifies how they feel about this dream of ours, you know, because we still dream of being a country that is centered around those things: justice, love, equality, ubuntu, you know. And there's so much kind of discord right now that everything seems lost, even the tiniest things, you know, like just ubuntu. You know, when you see on the news somebody swearing at a foreign national at a clinic and throwing them out and calling them a dog at a clinic, that for me still says, well, you know, we may have trouble, but who are we at the center of it all, you know? And is it okay for us to behave in these ways?
Yeah.
You know,
I know you were vocal about that, and I know that sort of
that didn't go down well.
It didn't go down well
because, of course, everybody is now at, you know, it's very binary. You're either there or there, you know. And I think that's the trouble that we're having, that when we haven't arrived at a balance, you know, so that really South Africans can be relaxed enough to truly create a new South Africa. You know, we haven't arrived at that place.
What is your letter to Azania? Has it changed? I mean, you say you've produced this, put the show on for quite a while, but I imagine the letter gets deeper and it changes and evolves.
I think that there's really two letters, because the first one was the one I wrote as a kid, which was to hope against hope that one day I'll arrive at Azania, there'll be drums, there'll be music, there'll be, you know, food, there'll be laughter, there'll be love. And now the letter is, you know, there's a Portuguese word, saudade, which describes a longing or a deep melancholy for something that has been lost, and something whose whereabouts are unknown, almost something that you'll never find again. And that's what it feels like now for me, thinking about Azania. It's saudade. It's a feeling as though I will never arrive at it, you know. But I think as an artist, I'm also driven by this idea that I have to create a world for reinvention, for newness, for hope. And so the letter is not all doom and gloom. It also kind of wants to open room for us all to find this newness and really create this new South Africa, because I think at the beginning these ideas were really, we thought that Mandela would change, there'd be a magic wand. But now we have to personify and kind of innately own these ideas so that we can really live in the country that we want to. Absolutely. That we visualize.
I think all of us, I think one thing we've realized that there's not one individual that is ever going to come and wave a magic wand to make everything better.
Absolutely.
It is up to all of us.
Absolutely.
And perhaps those letters, once you get them, would be a brilliant book to publish along with yours.
I would love that, actually.
And I don't think publish it yet, because I think in 10 years, maybe 15, 20 years, let's say, you're going to write another letter.
Yes,
and I'm hoping
absolutely.
that letter is going to be an achievement of the dream.
Absolutely. I'm also hoping for that.
I hope
because
so. Yeah.
As we get older, you know, we become less about breaking things and more about how we can put things together, you know. And, you know, there are, of course, things that must be broken. You know, like inequality must be destroyed, patriarchy must be destroyed, sexism, all these ailments that our society lives with, poverty, capitalism. But I think on the other side of that, we have to visualize what it is we're building.
Yeah, indeed. I could talk to you all day, because I know that people want me to talk to you all day to just pick this beautiful brain of yours, but I need to talk about what's coming up on the 25th. Are there tickets still available?
There are tickets still available for the Cape Town show, and I know that some people have to wait until month end, and it's smack bang in the middle of the month right now. So
it's on payday though. So
it is on payday.
So we hope the tickets still available on that 25th.
Yeah, there are tickets still available at CompuTicket, and the show is on the 25th at the Artscape.
Amazing. Good luck with it. Good luck with it. We keep writing those letters. I'll write mine. I'll keep it for you.
Write yours. I'd love to hear what you think.
I'd like to write it now. I've never thought about writing one, but I think I will.
And perhaps you've never even thought about Azania, because it was always a figment of a part of our struggle.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe as a white person, that was never an idea for you.
No.
But now I think, because we are all trying to build the country that we want to live in, we have to start visualizing something together.
And build something together, because there are those, and wherever you come from, there are those that run away from it, and there are others that stay and stick their roots in it and want those roots to flourish.
Yeah.
And that is a group of people that belong here and want to make it work. So we got to vision this together.
Yeah.
I'll do it for you. I will.
Cool.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. Such a pleasure to speak to musician Thandiswa Mazwai, talking to us about her upcoming show, A Letter to Azania. It's taking place at the Artscape Theatre on the 25th of February. Get your tickets. There are some available. Promise you, you won't regret it.